On today's episode of What You Can Make with Your Leftover Fabric, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful jumpsuit with a kimono sleeve, drawstring waist, and side pocket. This is so beginners friendly, something that a total beginner can make because it's so straightforward and so easy to make. And because of the drawstring waistline, it's almost like a one size fits all because you can make this for the smaller size and two sizes bigger can wear it because of the adjustable waistline. You will need about 2 yards to 2.5 yards of fabric to make this, and I'm using this polka dot fabric to make mine. And here I measured about 2 yards and 12 inches. It wasn't up to 2.5 exactly, but it was enough for me. Now you're going to fold your fabric into two, and you'll be using your hip circumference divided by 4 plus at least 6 to 8 inches to fold. Do you understand? And then now I have a starting point line here on this fabric, and that part will serve as the waistline. From that point, that's where I'll be taking my measurements. And the first measurement I'll be marking here is the crotch length. That's the crotch level line here. And what you will do is to divide your hip circumference by 4 and add 3 inches to it. Let's say your hip circumference is 38, divided by 4 is 9.5, plus 3 inches, that would be about 12.5, yeah? And then on here on the waistline, I'm going to be marking my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 3 inches. And that only means that I'm using the same thing I use as my crotch level line for this waistline now. And you can make it bigger. You can do 4 inches, 5 inches if you want it bigger. Then you're going to mark the same thing you have on the waistline here on the crotch line. Then for the crotch extension, you're going to do your hip circumference divided by 16. That's your whole hip circumference divided by 16. Whatever it gives to you, that's what you're going to use as your crotch extension. Then you're going to curve it out like you're curving your armhole. Now, whatever it is you measure there, you're going to mark it from that point all the way to your trouser length. Do you understand? Just mark the same value from that point until you get to your trouser length. And for the trouser length, what you're going to do is to minus the upper part from your whole jumpsuit length, yeah? You're going to minus the top part, that's from the shoulder to waistline. Then whatever it is you have left, that's what you use as the trouser length. Then afterwards, you're going to cut it out after marking the measurement. Then fold another fabric bigger with about 4 inches from what you use for the front part. Now I'm going to extend this line, this crotch line this way. And then whatever it is I used to do the crotch extension for the front pattern, I'm going to use the same thing for the back. Then I'm going to mark that same value from that point, from that crotch extension until I get to the trouser length. Then connect it like this. Just connect it straight. Then since I use zipper for mine, I'll be adding a zipper allowance of 1 inch. Then on this part, I'll be going out to about 2 inches. You can also do 1.5. And this is just to prevent it from going into your butt crack. I don't know if you understand, but yeah, this is what I have for the back. And yeah, we are not going to extend anything on the waistline like we usually do for the basic trousers. That's like adding the sitting allowance. So we are just cutting it like that. You are supposed to be even minusing just so it sits well on the waistline for the back, since this is a jumpsuit. But have it in mind that I'm just cutting the waistline the same with the front, except the zipper allowance we have on the back. Do you understand? So after cutting it out now, you're going to measure the whole of what you have here, and you're measuring on the front part of the trouser, yeah? Whatever it is you have there, that's what you'll be using to cut for the top part. And then after opening this part, you're going to measure from the waistline on the side seam to where you want your pocket to start, and then you're going to mark and notch it there. I did that off camera. I forgot to show you, but you will see that later in this video. So what you see me trying to do here is marking a starting point line. Then on that line, I'll be marking my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then from that point, I'll be adding my desired sleeve length, which I recommend from 5 inches upwards. Then I'm going to go down to my bust point line. That's from your shoulder to your bust point. That's this line you see me marking here, yeah? And then whatever it is I have on the shoulder, I'm going to come to this bust point line and minus 1 inch, mark it there and connect it like this. Now, once you're done with all of that, you can decide to highlight this point where you'll be taking your bust measurement and make it bigger than the measurement you have on the waistline. But that is not even necessary. Now, I want you to take from your shoulder to your waistline and minus 1 inch from that. Let's say from your shoulder to your waist is 17 inches, you're going to do 16 inches. and then you add about half inch joining allowance if you want to, or you just leave it like that, because the drawstring waistline should not be going downwards, it should actually be going upward, so that it will look better when the person wears it. And then, like I say, don't bother taking the measurement on the bust point, just focus on the measurement you have on the waist, which is the exact thing you have on the waistline of the trouser. Do you understand? So once you're done, you're going to just connect the side seam like you see me do it here. Then for the neckline, I'm using 3 inches for the wideness. Then here I'll be going down to about 6.5 as the neck depth. And at the end of the day, it's going to be about 7 inches after sewing it, because we won't be adding any other allowance. Then for the shoulder slope, I did about 1.5 shoulder slope from the shoulder, and I'm connecting it like you see me do it here. Now we are going to be cutting this out. Like I said, you can decide to add stitching allowance on the waistline. Then on this sleeve opening, you will be adding about 1 inch allowance that you'll be using to fold it later. And then you add your half-inch joining allowance on the shoulder. And you see me pinning this at several points just so it stays in place while I place it on another folded fabric this way. So I'm going to basically trace out everything I have here, both the neckline, the shoulder line, and everything here. Then I'll open it up on the center back where we have the zipper allowance. Now we have this ready like this. I went ahead to cut out my facing and every other thing I need for this. The facing for the neckline, and then the pocket, 4 pieces for the pocket, and we'll just go ahead and start joining this. We'll start with the front. You go ahead and join it this way. And then this is the notch I have on the side seam, where I said you can come down to where you want your pocket to be, and then from that point, that's where you'll be fixing your pocket. So I'll pin the pocket down here, right side to the right side, and then I'll come here and also pin the pocket on this other side, right side to the right side, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing here on the back part. For the back, all you have to do is to just come down here to about half inch that you'll be using to join it later to the top part. Then from that point, you're going to come down to where you want your zipper to stop. Then you're going to mark your allowance there, and then you connect it this way. And you're going to sew it just as you marked it this exact way. Make sure you back stitch from that starting point, and then you're going to be fixing your pocket on the side this way. Place it exactly where you have your notch, pin it down just so it's easy for you to sew it when you get to your sewing machine. I'll repeat the same thing on this other side, pin the pocket down, and you see that I placed it right side to the right side. I've gone ahead to join it, the pocket, and also close the crotch area of the pants. And you see this finishing I did here, that's my favorite kind of finishing when it comes to pants. But because I had limited time making this, I couldn't finish up with, like, follow up with that finishing. But yeah, I would have to show you how to do that because you need it. Now, this is something else that I like to do. After sewing, like the initial stitch, it's just like using that to hold it down. Then I'll go ahead and run a stitch again. And this one, this time, it's perfect the first stitch, because when you're working with this kind of fabric, it tends to shift while you are sewing. So having a double stitch will help make the stitches straighter than it, like just how it's supposed to be. Now we are going to be working on the neckline. I'm going to place my facing like this, and you see that I had to join the facing because yeah, the fabric would only let me do that. So we are going to be just following the outline of the neckline and sew it with about half inch, or if you want to sew with smaller than half inch, you go ahead and do that. And then for the back, I'm going to be repeating the same thing. I notched on the top part, which will indicate that this part will be going to the shoulder. Then I'll just go ahead and pin it down at several points just so it stays in place while I sew. Then I'll go ahead and sew with my half inch this way, half inch like this, top stitch, and at the end of the day, this is what I have. I've gone ahead to turn the neckline with the facing and top stitched, and this is what it is looking like. So I'm here to iron, that's why you see everything rough like this, because I want to do just the final ironing. I mean, we are all in this together. So this is what the back is looking like, side by side, neckline along each other. And again, I haven't ironed it, I only stitch the neckline. But what I'll be doing now is to just go ahead and turn the shoulder. I'll be using one of the facing to turn the shoulder, and you might be wondering why that, since the facing is so small. Just go ahead, arrange it, and arrange it the exact way you usually turn your shoulder. Use it as small as it is, it will help with the neckline, it will make the neckline very neat at the end of the day, instead of it looking rough or out of place. Repeat the same thing on the other side, and at the end of the day, you should have something like this. Can you see? Inside and outside, how neat it is looking, and it helps the neckline stay in place and well laid down. Now the next thing now is to just go ahead and double fold on the sleeve opening, and after that, this is what we have at the end of the day. See how neat it's looking. And then now I'm going to get the midpoint of this waistline. We only need to get the midpoint for this top part. This is the front here. The back, it's open, so you don't need to get the midpoint there. Now I'm going to mark that exact notch I have on this top to the joining I have here now, and go ahead and sew it from one end to the other. Better still, you sew from the midpoint to the side seam, then from the midpoint again to the other side seam. But again, don't forget to pin down. It will make your life a whole lot easier if you're using your pin for this kind of fabric. It's slippery and super lightweight, so pinning it down will help you not to be stitching and losing, so that your fabric stays in place while you sew. So I'm gonna have to join it, and you see the allowance I used to join. And the next thing I'll be doing now is to basically go ahead and close it on the side seam. But first, we would have to like trim out any part that we need to trim out. Except you are weaving as you sew, I recommend that to trim the waistline. Yeah, this fabric isn't even flaying, but weaving makes it neater. But in case you don't have any plan of weaving later, just go ahead and trim it to leave about 0.375. Yeah, if you have more than half inch as your stitching allowance. Then now you're going to pin it. Make sure you're matching up the waistline. Then you match the pocket and pin it down at different points. Pin it down like that until you get to the end of the pant, so that it's easy for you to work with. Then you're going to sew close with about half inch. When you get here, you corner like this and sew it until you come out of here again. You come out to half inch, and then you start from that point, like you maintain that same half inch until you get to the end of the pant. And at the end of the day, you're going to have something like this. You see that the half inch we stopped at one end is also what you started at the other end of the pocket, and that's how you're going to do it. Now we are going to close the inseam of the pant, and you're going to arrange it like this. Arrange it in a way that the sewing allowance is going the opposite direction. Like this one is going like this, and then this other one is going this way. That's how I like to do it here, just so it's not too bulky there, and at the end of the day it's going to look well laid and not too bulky there. That's just how I like to do it. The sewing allowance going in the opposite direction, but then the seam line will still be matching up. And then I'm going to just sew it from one end to the other end, then double fold this hem of the pant this way, and at the end of the day you're going to have something like this. At this point, I recommend that you go ahead and iron every part of this jumpsuit, just so it's very neat, and then you see where you are doing the next step, which is the final step. So you for that step you'll be needing this, like your rope, and then another piece of fabric that we'll be using to create a casing for this rope. Now this is how I finished the end of mine. One end is rough, and then the other end is super neat. Let me show you how I did that in case you're wondering. So you're going to get your fabric like this. You fold first, then you fold it again, this time right side to the right side, then you go ahead and sew. Once you get to the other end, you're also going to repeat the same thing. Fold it inward first, then you now fold it right side to the right side, then you go ahead and just sew it like that, and you have something like this. Then for these other pieces that we're using to create a casing, you can do like cut out a 3 inches width of the fabric, and then when you fold it, you're going to have about 1.5, or better still, you do 2.5. When you fold it, you're going to have about 1.25, whichever one, or even you do 2 inches. When you fold it, it's going to be about 1 inch. Then you're going to just make sure it's something that will go around your waist. Now you're going to cut it into two because of the zipper we have on the center back, and because this is supposed to stop on the center front. You are going to just cut it into two, and now you're going to start from the center back here. Now make sure you're not stitching on your zipper. Place it like this in a way that after sewing, you're going to top stitch going to the top part of your jumpsuit. Do you understand? So at this point, you can decide to like maintain your waistline, like you're sewing on the seam line that you used to, like the waist seam. Do you understand? After sewing, you're now going to like top stitch on the top, then you go ahead and use your safety pin to pass your rope, give it a good press, and at the end of the day, you're going to end up with something like this. I love this jumpsuit because it's so easy to make, it's breathable, and it's super chic. I hope you found this tutorial very helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you on my next one. Be good. Bye.